Okie dokie. What's up, everybody? Dan here, and this is For Your Mental Health weekly, where we talk about different mental health issues that come about in my daily life, in your daily life, in the world in general. So, thank you for coming back to watch episode number 9 of this series, whether it's on YouTube or a audio platform like Spotify or iTunes. Thank you very much. It means a lot. So, yeah, definitely love your support. Means the world. So much love, much respect. But today's episode, as you can tell, is a bit more of a serious one because I was I contracted COVID-19 actually. Yeah, so that's what this is about. Um, it's something that I was um, not hoping to get. I don't think anyone wants to get COVID-19. Obviously, it's a life-threatening virus. For many of the cases, most of the cases, it's a mild um, case, mild to moderate. For me, I've gotten not a lot of symptoms. Thank goodness. I've been fairly okay throughout this whole thing. I'm just speaking from my own experiences. Make sure to consult a physician, your doctor, if you're planning to do something about your own diagnosis of COVID-19. But I wanted to make this video because it was important to me to be completely transparent with you guys. I talk about a lot of the issues I've dealt with over the past few months with mental health, and so, this one's a big one. I'm going to be okay, presumably. I've not really had very major symptoms from this virus, and I'm glad. I'm really glad that probably going to be okay here. Obviously, a lot of people have not been. They've been sick for weeks and months, and maybe have passed away from this. And so, it was scary. It was scary to get that test back saying it was detected, and not knowing exactly where it was going to go from there. Obviously, this virus is still a new virus on the block. There isn't all the information in the world to really say, where it's going to go from here. What it does to everyone that it gets into. So, yeah. No, I was a little freaked out, and I was handling it the best I could. And obviously I'm a younger dude, don't have any underlying medical conditions, so for me, the likelihood of me surviving it and getting through it was very high. And that seems, like I said, that seems to be what's going to happen. But it's just I was kind of mad at myself a little bit because I put myself out there doing stuff like working out at the gym or going to martial arts practice, and I didn't necessarily have to do that. I could have stayed home this whole time and just worked out at home and maybe looked things up online and not be so out there in the world. But I didn't do that. I went out there, and for the past 4 months or so, I've gone out there and worked out at the gym, gone to martial arts practice, and I've benefited from that for sure. Never done martial arts before, so it was something I wanted to get into while I wasn't working, and it was a great benefit. I've made some new friends, had some great new experiences, and found some new purpose for sure. So I plan to get back to that at some point. I think when things calm down a little bit and cases drop dramatically, and perhaps we have a vaccine, something like that. But I think for me, I'm just trying to find some type of normalcy. I think we all are. I think we all are trying to do that in some way. I didn't want to die. I didn't want to lose my life to this thing, in a stupid way. It's just, yeah, just being out and about and being in close contact with people and just so happening to get it, like just from some random occurrence. And you know, it's not the way I wanted things to end for me. You know what I mean? So, it like I said, it was a bit of a shock to me. But in a way, I wasn't so shocked because I was putting myself out there, and I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if I got this virus, honestly. Obviously, I was trying to social distance. I was wearing a mask as much as I could, going to the grocery store and going to different, restaurants and things. But, I think that's something that maybe I shouldn't have done so much, is going out to those places. I going and working out, going into martial arts like that has improved my life for sure. So I do see the benefit of that, but I do think I probably wouldn't have gotten the virus if I wouldn't have gone out and did those things. So, yeah, just a lot on my mind, a lot of things on my mind recently because of that. I can talk about the some of the testing. So, the way I found out that I possibly was infected was got an email from someone that mentioned that I may have been in contact with someone who had the virus, and so that definitely caused a little bit of concern. But I didn't have any symptoms at the time, so I didn't really think a ton about it. I was starting to get a little sore throat, but overall it was doing fine. Sore throats can happen because you're sleeping next to a window or you have the fan on, you sleep weird, the changing of the weather outside, it could be a little colder now, who knows. So I didn't really think much of it. But the next day, after that email, I did start to feel a lot more of the symptoms, like a headache and some fatigue, and dry mouth, and just an overall sort of malaise coming on. And it kind of felt like I had the flu, because I've had that a few times, which actually got my flu shot for the first time this year. So, rock on flu shots. Did that help out at all with this? I don't know. That's really hard to say. I don't know if the evidence is there for that. But once again, you can, talk to your doctor about it if you have questions. But, yeah. So, once I realized I was having symptoms and that, that I needed to get tested, I was looking for a testing site, and all the pharmacies were booked up. So I went with this other place, this like private lab, and I ended up paying a bit more for it than I suppose I was expecting. Not too much more, but enough to where it was like, okay, this is probably going to be a pretty legit test based on how much it costs. But yeah, so I biked to the spot. Took about, I don't know, 30-40 minutes to bike there, and I got there early. I called them up and asked, like, hey, can I do it now even though I'm here early? And they're like, yeah, sure, just come right in, or come right up to the parking space. And I was like, well, I don't have a car. And then I was like, hey, look to your right. And I started waving because I could see she was on the phone in the window, and she just like slowly turned around. Like it was like, what is this guy talking about? And then she saw me, and I was like, oh, hi. So it was a fun little moment, for sure. But yeah, so went into the office and showed them my ID, and they sat me down. They gave me this long looking swab thing, and I had to stick it straight up my nose until it felt uncomfortable, which it certainly did. And then I twisted it around a little bit. I was like, and I took it out, other nostril, like that, and then I gave it back to her. She had like this, like a big like face shield. She had like the rubber gloves, so she was all protected for sure. Yeah, and that was a success. It was really quick, and after that, I got home, and I just kind of chilled out a bit. Was still feeling sick from whatever was in my system, which turned out to be COVID. And just spent the next day or so writing out the symptoms. The fever, I had kind of a bad fever for like 2 days or so, and that was the kind of the biggest symptom right there, that I was feeling. So I was in bed, I was rested for a few days, and it wasn't too bad. Like, I think the last flu I had was much worse. I was sick for about a week from that, and that was back in February, and this was actually not so bad, strangely enough. But so I've been just trying to stay quarantined for now. I'm feeling a lot better. I do have a roommate, so I try to stay masked for them, and clean things up whenever I touch things, but they seem to be fine. They don't seem to have any symptoms as far as I can tell, so maybe they don't have it. That's certainly a possibility. Or just asymptomatic, so maybe they have it, they're just not showing symptoms. That's possible too. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at right now. Like I said, I'm feeling pretty good. I don't feel sick at all, really. I mean, I have like I think a little bit of a brain fog from time to time, a little bit of fatigue, but it's probably not going to last too much longer. I did have some pain in my lungs. I had like a little inflammation. I could feel it like in my back. I thought it was back pain, but it was like my lungs, I think, were getting a little inflamed, but that went away too. So yeah, that's the story. That's the story right now. At this point, I want to be a lot more conservative with my exposure to the outside. I don't know how immune I'm going to be. It wasn't a very serious case, so I've read in certain places that maybe it's not as, maybe the immunity won't be as strong because the case wasn't as intense, so my body didn't have to build up as much of a resistance to it. I don't know. That's possible. Not 100%, but that's possible. So I still feel like I don't want to put myself out there too much because we really don't know, the whole scope of this virus and the long-term effects and, the immunity of it, and there's still no vaccine that's been released to the public. So, I'm being very cautious, understandably so. So yeah, probably still be going to the grocery store and, walking around, taking walks, distancing, around the park and whatnot. But other than that, I really don't want to go to other places, for a while until we have more things figured out. So it's looking good though. I just saw a news article about a coronavirus vaccine that's got like 90% success rate, that could be released, in the not too distant future. Maybe by next year or so, or the end of this year. But I guess not everybody would have access to it initially. Probably go to the first responders, frontline workers, those kind of folks first, and go from there. But yeah, it looks promising. I'm just trying to sort of overcome the shock of getting COVID and this, oh my God, could I have died or something? Like that's all stuff that's affecting me right now. you know. Um, I, that's those are things that could happen. Obviously, if you get the virus, and I was very concerned, for sure, because you never know where things are gonna go. Um, if you're dealing with COVID as well, hopefully you are um, in isolation, you're locked down because you don't want to spread it. That's very important. You don't want to spread the virus at all. That's for sure. And hopefully you're resting if you've got symptoms. Hopefully you're riding it out at home if they're just mild to moderate. If it's more severe, obviously you'd want to contact your local health professionals. Maybe even go to the hospital if you need to, and go from there. And go down that road if you need it, because ultimately that's going to be what's going to get you healthy again, right? I mean, that's just how that works. So yeah, it's just been a lot for me, I think, to handle. Only now because I've gotten the virus, and I feel more the weight of that, the weight of what it's like to be at the mercy of something that really has no cure. So that was a lot for me to kind of handle. And luckily I've got therapy. I've got friends I can talk to. So it's not as bad as it could be, but yeah, it just makes me really want to be cautious now, because it's not worth my health, my existence, my future. I don't want to mortgage all that for going out and having some fun at a restaurant, or even going to martial arts practice or the gym. Like, it doesn't seem worth it right now. So yeah, that's just my current view of things. Just to be more conservative with my exposure, and see what things are like in a few months' time, or less. We'll see what comes out of this whole vaccine situation, or maybe cases will start going way down. People start actually wearing masks and social distancing. Please make sure to do that. But yeah, if you are worried about getting the virus, which is obviously a concern, please do make sure to follow the guidelines of masks, of social distancing, of washing your hands. That's so important. That's going to save a lot of lives. So I would encourage everyone out there to do that across the world. To keep doing it if you're still doing it. And if you have COVID-19, if you got it like I did, don't lose hope. Don't lose faith. Don't think that it's going to be the end of the world. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to be shocked. Those are normal responses to something that has killed a lot of people. And obviously we're all in this together. And it always comes back to that. We have each other's backs. We have each other's hands to hold. We are a group of people, a society that should care about each other. And if you really care about each other, you'll you will follow the guidelines. And if you have COVID-19, just take it day by day, right? I know the virus is a new phenomenon, relatively speaking, and scientists are still trying to figure out what's going on with it. But you can always have a positive attitude. You can always get up every day and be like, all right, well, I'm at day 2, I'm at day 5, I'm at day 7. How am I feeling? What are my symptoms? What am I thinking right now? Like, am I being positive about it? Or am I being negative about it? Do I feel like I'm going to survive? Or do I feel like I'm not? Like, do I feel like I have the urge to go on? Or do I feel like I'm being too pessimistic and, that this is not going to end well, and that I shouldn't even fight for my life? I shouldn't even make the effort to get better, or something like that, just, remember that you can always have a positive attitude. If anything else, you can bring what you are to the table and say, hey, I know this virus is deadly. I know it is, it's not completely well known as to what, its effects are, how detailed of a list we have. We don't really have a lot of information in the short amount of time we've had it. But from the information we do have, we can make educated guesses as to how to deal with it. Look it up online. That's what I did. I looked it up online. What are the common symptoms, and I compared it to what I had, and I felt a lot better. I felt a lot better when I did that, and I understood that I'm probably going to be okay. Considering my symptoms were fairly mild. So, just whatever your situation is with the virus, find other people that have gone through it as well. And I've looked up a lot of YouTube videos about people with COVID as well, and I've gotten some good ideas from that too. So use your community. My advice would be to use your community around you, and be vigilant about finding information and seeing how it compares to what you're going through, and I think that can be a really positive experience, to have that peace of mind, to know what's up, to have some type of foothold as to how to deal with having COVID-19. So, there you have it. I know that was kind of a long one, but obviously it was something that was worth talking about for quite a bit. Once again, I'm feeling good. I don't really have hardly any symptoms anymore, and it looks like I'm going to be okay. So for anyone who's messaged me about how I'm doing, I'm doing all right, physically. Just emotionally, I have to spend more time just getting back to normal, getting back to the happy-go-lucky person that wants to go out and change the world. And I guess I'm doing that still to this day, even though I'm not feeling so great, inside, because of what I've experienced and the possibility of it could have gone really wrong. And it's just a traumatic, I guess it's sort of a trauma in that way, for sure. So, there you have it. That's my my video on having COVID-19, and me in lockdown. So, I'll be here for another week or so. So I'll catch you in the next one, episode 10, the big 10th episode. Whoa, that's gonna be gonna be special, right? We'll see. We'll see what comes of it. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching on the YouTube channel, for listening on the different audio channels, Spotify, iTunes, for the podcast. I really appreciate your checking it out, and just giving me a platform to speak my mind a bit, on different mental health issues of the day. So thank you so much for watching, and as always, follow your instincts. And peace out from quarantine. Sayonara. Ciao.